Hi, my name is Dan, and this is my channel, Engelgeist. Thank you for dropping by and visiting and watching this video. This video is the September predictive for 2019, September 2019 for the sign of Capricorn. So if you have an ascendant, sun, moon, or rising in Capricorn, please watch this video. And if there's any love in this prediction, then that would apply to people with their Venus in Capricorn. So, if your Venus is in Capricorn, you may want to watch this, but if that's only if like a major love reading comes up, okay? What was I gonna say? Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Check out my other videos. I have other stuff on here like pick a cards. I'm gonna start doing more tarot unboxing videos and things of that nature. You can also tell me what you'd like to see on the channel, and I can go about accommodating all you well-thinking Capricorn, earthy, wonderful people. Okay, so let's get to your shuffle and your cards for the month of September 2019 for those with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Not to be confused with penis, which, when penis is good, sometimes we can get a little confused. Okay, I'm gonna say this, Capricorn, as I'm shuffling the cards, the energy feels a little bit like wonky. Like a little bit, it almost feels handicapped. And I mean that in a way like, it feels like you guys aren't operating at full steam in the month of September. Like, it doesn't feel like it's an outside influence. I feel like it's your own sort of, it's your own selves. Does that make sense? Like, are you getting in your own way? Are you not believing in yourself enough in the month of September? It feels like that kind of a thing. Like, it's not something outside of us that's not allowing us. It feels more like we're not allowing ourselves. Does that make sense? I got that impression with a lot of the readings this month, this coming month for September, a lot of the signs. It's not about outside influences anymore. It's about how we're holding ourselves in our world, how we're viewing ourselves. And to me, the cards feel like they're coming together in kind of a clunky sort of way. Not that it's necessarily negative, but it's not as smooth and as grounded as I would expect Capricorns to bring it in. Because y'all, when you bring it in, like, you guys are great decision makers, you make money really well, you're, usually, I don't know, pretty steady, even keel people. And this feels a little bit, not bad, but a little bit like, I don't know, just off. Like, not quite as steady as I would expect. All right, so let's get into the cards. So this is your first card, and it is sort of like the vibe of what the month of September is going to be like for you. Not necessarily the entire month, but sort of you'll be going back and forth to the energy of this card throughout the month. So this is kind of where your center is at for the month of September. So you have a center of the Child of Wands, which is Seeker. Interesting. A lot of spiritual stuff is happening for a lot of the signs too. Wands is the sign of spirit, and the Child of Wands is all about sort of, establishing new relationships with new things spiritually in our lives. That's how I see it. You can see here, I'll show you. There's a bunch of different things going on here. We have this mouse, we have this deer, we have these sort of vulnerable, like, sort of situations, and it's a dark card. It's not necessarily a bad card. What it feels like to me is it feels like this is uncharted territory for the Capricorns. Maybe that's a little bit of that clunkiness or that unsmooth energy, is that you're maybe going to depths that you're not necessarily used to going to in the month of September, especially spiritually, going inward, searching oneself. I see Capricorns as being sort of very grounded individuals. That you guys are earth signs, you're practical people, that sort of a thing. But this is more about trusting your spirit, learning a bit about your spirit, connecting to that, going a little bit deeper into areas that aren't maybe so material based, or more areas of the spirit versus the, you guys are earth signs, so you guys are good with money and jobs and working hard and producing. And this here is more ephemeral. It's more about learning where we connect to ourselves on a spiritual plane. Where do we find our spiritual enlightenment or inspiration from? Where do we attain that from? And I think in years past, maybe for the earth signs, that's always been an easy answer. It's been about material wealth, abundance, stable home life, that sort of thing. I picture like Taurus when I say that too. But I think that now that we progress further and further into all of these weird planetary changes and the things that are going on just in the world in general, as the vibration rises on the planet, so does ours, and the earth signs are going to have to start to explore their more spiritual nature and their more higher vibrational nature. You guys have, mastery of the earth energy, right? So now it's time to sort of like learn a little bit more about spirit. And that's what I feel like this seeker card is about, is seeking those things in the month of September that maybe connect you spiritually and make you feel, albeit a little bit vulnerable or maybe fearful, but I think that there's a reward to be had if you continue to do the search. So the next card is what I call the foundation card. This is the card that opens the door for everything to be the way that it is in the month of September. So it's kind of something from the past that has brought about this change, or this card here that we are at now. So this is the Eight of Cups, which is stagnation. This card definitely speaks to the fact that we maybe have felt stuck in the recent past, or emotionally we haven't felt very inspired. We might be feeling dragged down by older situations or feeling emotionally stifled a little bit. But I think that we haven't lost touch with our capabilities, with our strength, and with our beauty. We do know that we are strong people, but it's sort of like, I feel like there's almost an obligation in this card where you guys have maybe held on to situations that haven't served you, or relationships that haven't served you, in an attempt to try and do the right thing. And the right thing is actually not really the right thing. It's not helping anybody. It's just keeping other people stuck where they are, and it's keeping you in a place of stuck where you are. And let's be honest, I think that with this stagnation card, the way that I look at that pot in the center with the beautiful flowers, is that you guys deserve more than what is going on around you. And you've known this for a while, and out of some sort of emotional obligation, you have sort of stayed where you are. And this is why I think this seeker card is showing up in the month of September for you guys, is because spiritually you need to seek some new connections, some new depth, some new awareness as to what turns you on spiritually, what really fulfills you, stop doing for others and not receiving back, and start giving to yourself and seeing what you can actually create, okay? The next card is your soul card. This is the card that tells me what your soul or spirit, your higher self, is going to be working on during the month of September. So you guys get the Priestess. Secrets. She's very spiritual, she's very intuitive, but she's also very secretive. So I feel like there is some change about to happen. And I feel like because the Priestess is showing up in the soul space, I almost feel like most of the Capricorns, like, this is your higher self saying to me, shh, we're not going to tell you now, Dan. They're going to have to figure it out for themselves. I don't know. That's totally what this card is saying to me. I don't know why that is, but there's something key about this seeker. You need to play hide and seek with your spirit, and your spirit is being the priestess right now. She's wanting you to find your way out of whatever this situation is that hasn't been serving you. Maybe you have sort of found your way out, and you're kind of at a standstill where you're like, okay, so now what? Well, now what is seek? Seek and ye shall find. I mean, I don't know if that's from the Bible, but Jesus Christ, who would have ever thought I would have quoted the Bible, but that's what's going on in these cards, and I feel like this is your soul. Your soul has all the answers. The priestess is very knowledgeable. She's very strong. She has this owl here, this sphinx. She's kind of holding back her information and her intuition right now. She's like, I see this boat in the background, kind of like your sort of spirit is pulled back a little bit because it wants you to come seek it. It wants you to come find it in the month of September. And there's something that it wants to give you. There's knowledge, a depth of knowledge, an intelligence, an awareness that it wants to give you, but you need to go through the search and the push. Like, how do I want to say it? Like, you need to push your boundaries enough to the point that you get to where you need to be, that you can actually meet your spirit at this level. Does that make sense? And you will. You have the strength and the beauty and the capability to do that. But I really feel like this is spirit saying, we've got the knowledge, we have the answers, we're not giving them over just yet until they come and meet us halfway. Okay? I don't know, that might just only be for a few of you, that might be for all of you, but take it as it is. That's what I'm getting from it. The next two cards are the outside influences. These are things that can be people or events that are having an effect on us during the month of September. They're not necessarily of us, they're just influencing or affecting us, and we need to be aware of them. So let's see what they are. They can also be beliefs or energies. So we have the Ace of Cups, which is ecstasy. Wow. I look at this card and I instantly think transformation, I think growth, I think beauty. I think how it is the antithesis of this stagnation card. I think about how the flowers here feel like they're almost dying on the vine, and here they feel like they're alive and vibrant and free. I feel like this says to me that if we do seek, the universe, the energies around us will give us the opportunities to achieve like this sort of emotional abundance, this emotional awareness, this growth, this beauty, and it might be just the thing that we need, this experience or this joy that we need to reach this place where the priestess resides within us, right? Where our soul is waiting with this sort of intuitive information for our next steps and our next opportunity to move forward. But right now we have to be brave and seek that. We have to be brave and step forward or challenge ourselves enough to let go and move forward. This energy here says to me that the universe is definitely co-conspiring with you to give you all of the joy and abundance and sort of emotional well-being that you need if you choose to move forward and trust. Now, the next outside influence is the Woman of Worlds, which is Preserver. Interesting. You guys are earth signs, and the Worlds is the earth suit, right? It's like pentacles. So this deals with all of the things like careers, money, finance, relationships, things of the material plane. And when I look at this card, this Preserver, this woman looks a little bit scared to me, and I see this woman working hard here and this other woman dancing. And we have food down here on the table, and the earth, where we fit in the planet, how we see ourselves, where we need to be, what is safe for us. So the question is do we choose to stay in this safe space of producing and being, our normal earth-based sign? There's going to be these options, right? It's like I see two different options here that are given to us by the outside to influence us. We can stay safe and stay with what we know, and we may not be super happy. It may be a little bit boring or dull, but it's definitely something that we're good at, or that we've done long enough that we can do with our hands tied behind our back. But the thing is does that lead us sort of, it's not necessarily in this stagnation, but does this sort of lead us only just a little ways out of the stagnation. Where when we have this other influence, which is the Ace of Cups, which is like this ecstasy card, this opportunity to grow and go so far beyond, go so far beyond what we've been in of recent. It's kind of like, to me, and I'm just going to say this personally, this feels like choosing what we know that we can achieve and staying with what's safe versus taking the risk and using this seeker card and really going deep and trying to figure out what it is that does bring us ecstasy and joy to attain this secret knowledge that our soul is holding for us, okay? Now, this last card is the the overall sort of outcome for the month. It's not set in stone, though. We do have free will and choice in everything that we do. So this is just a general card as to how the month may end out for most of you, with the energy as it stands now. I will do a mid-month predictive, so we will look then and see what has changed from this to that. But for now, this card lets us know sort of where we're headed a little bit ahead of time, but we do have the power to change it, okay? Wow. So we have the Six of Wands, which is trust. It's funny, I just did, was it Scorpio? Scorpio had stagnation and trust going on, and I'm trying to remember, they had a couple of similar things, a couple of similar themes going on in their month too. So if you hang out with some Scorpios, maybe share some stories, you guys might learn something from one another. But this here is the outcome, right? Which is a Wands card, which again, we start with a Wand. We're returning to this Child of Wands. If this is our sort of theme for the month of being the seeker, of seeking out a deeper spiritual relationship and understanding and inspiration, this is the outcome of the month, is we're going to spiritually learn how to trust both ourselves, our environment, our spirit guides, our family, our friends, whoever it is that we need to trust to be able to move forward in a way that allows us to engage this Child of Wands, to teach this Child of Wands to grow into something more spiritually sound, spiritually connected, so that you are prepared for the gift that is in this card, which your soul is holding, waiting for you. This priestess energy, this priestess secrecy, the intuition, the knowledge, it's old and ancient, but it's brilliant and it's good and we want it, right? I feel like this trust card says to me that the majority of you guys are going to choose this path of ecstasy. You are going to choose to trust and move forward, not necessarily move slower and stay in what you know and what's been familiar. I do believe in reincarnation. We do come back to the planet over and over again, but I think that, we do get this life right now and we get to live it as fast or as slow as we choose to, and I think that there's a choice here between these two cards of which path to take. Do we take what's familiar that we've been doing and plod along, or do we sort of explore something new and transformative and move forward in a way that requires us to trust? I think the majority of you are going to actually do that. You are going to actually trust on a spiritual level your own spirit, the spirit guides that are around you, the meditation, or whatever it is that you're doing to make this connection here, to make this seeker, to educate this Child of Wands here. Whatever it is you're doing, that you are going to end by month's end, be in this place of trust in pursuit of this ecstasy and this higher knowledge of the priestess that is awaiting you. We are done with this stagnation, and we're done with preserving the old. We're taking it to a next level here, is what I feel like, Capricorns. I feel like you guys are taking it to a next level. You're going somewhere where it's uncharted territory for you, but it's not going to be territory you can't handle, because this priestess card says to me she's got it on lock. She just needs to make sure you guys are ready to take on that information and utilize it to the best of your ability. Because she doesn't, I just sort of feel like she doesn't necessarily want to hand over the information to somebody who's just going to stay at their office job, plodding along miserable. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for the month of September for you guys. Again, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Post this video wherever you think it could be utilized best. in any groups where there's a lot of Capricorns or people that like tarot. I would appreciate it. Help me get the good word out. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. Hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified every time I do a video. I will do mid-month check-ins for all of the signs, and I do live forecasts every morning, so tune in for those if you'd like. I hope this gives you some insight and challenges you and resonates with you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. You can certainly just leave it here and there might be another reader that has the message for you at this time. All right, take care, and I'll see you all later. Bye.